Hello. 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 Hi. What's going on? It's a Thursday. Hello. Welcome back. It's nice to see you all again. Which is a complete lie because I can't see you. But people like to say that because it's, conversation. Nice to see you with my eyes. Yeah, it's too bright for that, man. I can't keep that up. Look like I'm artificially squinting to be something else. Can't do it. Sun's too bright. See that? My glasses, can't do it. So it's a Thursday. I wanted to do a topic today. I came outside and thought, well, it's Thursday. What can I do that's a literary and similar to my themes? And I thought about it, and I came up with the word trust. Trust is a really complicated topic. It seems very easy on the onset, but we get what trust is. Trust functions like the ability to predict and rely on something to happen. Trust almost always refers to people, because do you say that you trust the sun will rise tomorrow? Or do you say, I believe it will? So there's a bit of a difference. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get into it. I started this video a little bit late and I haven't done the research on this one, to be honest. I just wanted to touch on it a little bit. Haha, TTT. Thicc-Thighs Thursday, spread 'em. I'm just kidding, don't do that. Especially if they're not yours. If it's chicken or turkey, wait for the holidays, then you can spread them all you want. Straight up and down the middle, break the wishbone. What up? Don't ask where that came from. So trust is a complicated one. Functions to solidify interpersonal relationships in society. But it's like, it's fragile. Trust is very fragile, and it can, to me, and I touched on this in an early episode, I think, in a way, the idea of consistency. Consistency with behaviors and patterns and people inspires trust. Because the more consistent something is, like the sun and the planet spinning around and around and around and around and around for like eons, we have this structured belief that the sun will rise the next day because that's how consistent it has been. So trust is based on consistency. Trust doesn't always necessarily have to be positive, because if somebody's like always late for work or a degenerate or always gets belligerent and drunk, you can trust they're going to be an asshole. That's true. True. But you could trust in a positive way, like trusting your relationship partner, trusting your parents, you're trusting your family, trusting certain, you know what I mean? Like trust is built on consistency and a reflection of pattern. Once that pattern breaks, a lot like trust when it breaks is like breaking your favorite plate and trying to glue it back together again. You might actually get it back together again in a way, but it will never be as strong as it was to begin with, and it will never function the same way again. Once trust, like a real trust in a certain way, once that's broken, that's it. Trust is over with. And on top of that, depending on where and how the trust is broken, that filter socially, when we're like aware and meeting people and doing business and interacting with connections and socially, once you've had your trust broken by certain situations or people or angles or whatever that filter happens to be, once that's broken, that wall gets another foot higher and another foot higher and a few bricks thicker. Never goes back the same way again. You're always going to be a little more on your toes, a little more. And to be honest, and don't feel bad about that, because that's healthy. If we had like a skeptical mind going into things to begin with, if we had thought through things thoroughly. I'm on a roll. Can't stop me now. If you thought through things thoroughly, I'm not doing it a third time, relax. The thinking process, you'd be able to imagine what happens. The what ifs I talked about a couple episodes ago. Those what ifs, when they apply like reasonably and in a mature way and based on experience, then they can be really helpful. Like someone did mention in comments that you want to watch out for what ifs in dangerous situations because they will help you make good decisions. So where trust is concerned, that's really important. I had an interesting phone call today where a bit of information came my way, and I had been looking forward to a situation, following through, things like that. And you go into certain situations with the belief or a trust that that situation will follow through according to plan, ideas, consistency, the way it's been, what it's supposed to do. I have a problem with this supposed to do thing. Because of efficiency and tactful and planning and all that kind of stuff, if certain things don't go according to plan, it really trips me out, because it's like a lot of my planning is relying on the other end working to it, you know what I mean? Like, you don't expect 4 + 4 to equal 9, and all of a sudden it equals 9, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, what planet are we on? I need Neil deGrasse Tyson and Carl Sagan back here ASAP, and they can bring the ghost of Stephen Hawking to help me figure this one out. 4 + 4 equals what? 9? Huh? There are 4 lights. That's it. There's only 4 lights. There are not 5 lights. I don't give a shit what species you are. There's only 4 lights. Or was it 5 lights and they were trying to get him to say 4? Anyways, if you guys catch that reference, comments, please let me know who was struggling with the lights. So anyways, this idea of consistency and like predictability helps making plans. If you're always on your toes and things are just like all over the place, like for instance, mental health can be like that for the person with the health issues and the people around them, because their condition makes their mind function in such a way that sometimes it's unpredictable to others, and sometimes irrationally unpredictable to the person themselves. So they have an emotional and rational issue dealing with the process that's just not under control. It's really desperate. And I've been through some of it where I don't know what to do with myself, and then I've been on the receiving end where I don't know what to do with somebody else, or how to respond or react or support or think about it, because it makes like having plans almost impossible. Very, very tricky. And then when you put in like a really deep trust and it's like violated because of some of these problems, be it mental health or just some kind of mental faculty in someone that does something or sees another angle, or they breach your trust, they betray your trust. Man, that shatters a lot. That's so dangerous. Don't do that. Don't set yourself up to have to lie to somebody or cheat or like break those things, because that social bond is almost everything. You know, this is partly why my departure from that company hurts so much on my end, because I feel like I betrayed someone. I feel like I betrayed a rule or a specific or you know what I mean? Like, it came down to that line. So I was like, no, of all places and all things to be involved in, the most passionate thing that I could have ever been involved with, I got kind of a finger pointed at me for betraying that kind of idea. Man, that sucked. I'm not gonna lie. When I left that day, I was crying. No joke. No joke, because at the end, that was 25 years in the making to not to the day, but you know what I mean. 25 years trying to get onto that path, and then to have to face that kind of responsibility, woo, boy, that stings. That stings something worse. That stings hard. It took a while for me to kind of level with that, but you know, you grow. You figure it out. You figure out a way. But like I said, once that's shattered, man, that's a tough road. So you got to be careful. Don't break trust. Be very, very mindful of trust. But also think about how it functions in your day-to-day relationships. You trust that your laces will keep your shoes on. You know what I mean? Like certain things like that. It's built into how we do things, but we don't stop and think about that. That's what it is. Trust functions that way. It helps us do stuff. Keep things together, you know what I mean? Keep things rolling. And with that, I'm going to end this one a little bit early and get home and relax. It's a little bit windy today. Just been appreciating the days, you know, like being outside and feeling the wind and different smells in the neighborhood. And it's been interesting. Just appreciate the weather. It was super hot the last couple of days. Today, not so bad. It's actually cold enough that I got my sweater on. So anyways, let me know in the comments below if you guys relate to any of the topics, if you have something to add. And just for random giggles, what color are your pants? I don't know. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching. I will see you on the next side of life. Laters.